Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Arris ribbon cutting ceremony. What a beautiful project standing behind us. My name is Michael Stevens, and I'm the president of the Capitol Riverfront BID. We oversee 500 acres here in southeast Washington called the Capitol Riverfront that includes the Navy Yards, the Yards Project, the baseball stadium, the soccer stadium, and oh, by the way, about 3,000 units of housing that are under construction at this very moment. So you're watching an urban neighborhood unfold before your very eyes. And what's great about today is you're seeing another milestone project in the legacy of the Yards development project. The Yards is a 42-acre and now I think 47-acre project with some of the D.C. water holdings, mixed-use neighborhood that's unfolding on the banks of the Anacostia River right over here. It's a high-density, mixed-use neighborhood that will have ultimately around 2,800 housing units, 400,000 square feet of retail. You see a lot of it already with Vida, the Harris Teeter grocery store, and numerous restaurants, almost 2 million square feet of office, and the brilliant 5.5-acre Yards Park, which is off in the view shed right here to my right and your left. This has been a brilliant public-private partnership between the City of Washington, the federal government through the General Services Administration, and Forest City, Washington. The bid came into that partnership later as we manage, maintain, operate, and program Yards Park. But I think this is one of the best embodiments of a public-private partnership in the nation and how the federal government can take some of their surplus lands, put them to active use by donating them to the district government eventually, and they become private holdings, and Forest City is now putting them to great fruitful use as residential housing, as office, as commercial, and neighborhood support retail. So I want to commend Forest City, Washington on their perseverance and steadfastness with this project. This is a microcosm, albeit a very large microcosm, of our neighborhood. It's one of the communities of the Capitol Riverfront, and it really is one of our shining stars. I invite you all to come back and see Yards Park at its full function this summer when our concerts start May the 20th. That's how a park is supposed to function, not only as a public space, much welcome open space relief in a dense city, but also as an economic investment that leverages private redevelopment. So these are all critical things that are occurring as part of the Yards public-private partnership here on the banks of the Anacostia River. And we have some of the key players in those partnerships that you see today with the opening of the Arris as a beautiful new flagship residential building of about 327 units. You're all going to get to tour it. As Debbie says, the building has its own amenities, but the neighborhood surrounding it is its own amenities base. We're going to hear first today from Mayor Muriel Bowser, who I find to be a wonderful mayor for our city here in Washington, D.C. She was sworn in as D.C.'s 7th elected mayor on January 2nd, and one of her platforms is to bring the middle class back to Washington, D.C., and I applaud her for that. But her other priorities include affordable housing, public safety, ending homelessness in our city, environmental sustainability, fiscal integrity, and making D.C. an innovation hub. Those are all great goals, and she's working very hard on those. Prior to serving as mayor of our city, and she's well beyond her first year, so congratulations.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. She was the council member for Ward 4, first through a special election in 2007, and then winning full re-election in 2008 and 2012. At that time on the council, she served as chairman of the Economic Development Committee, which served her very well in her preparations for role as mayor because she saw the creation of more than 5,000 units of affordable housing, secured the best parcels for the district through the Walter Reed transfer from the federal government, and close to my heart, she really spearheaded the legislation for the DC United Soccer Stadium to go to the Buzzard Point section of our neighborhood. So thank you for that gift to our city and to our neighborhood. She also served as an ANC for Riggs Park, so she really cut her chops in the political process as an ANC. She attended Chatham College and received her master's in public policy from American University. I am amazed at her energy level and her commitment to the city as mayor, and I thank her for all that she does for our city. I give you the Honorable Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Thank you, Michael.
Great to see you.
Thank you so much. Well, good morning, everybody. I am very happy to be here, always happy to visit the Capitol Riverfront and be with our friends at the BID who are doing a fantastic job. Give them a big round of applause. And I'm delighted to share the podium with Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton, who has done so much to transform our waterfront. She recognizes, like so many people have, that our rivers needed the type of attention and development that we see in cities around the world. And in great cities, you invest in the waterfront to bring people to the waterfront to help enliven the city. And the Congresswoman will tell you, step by step, year by year, how she has really brought those resources to bear in the District of Columbia. So let's thank Eleanor. To Administrator Roth, we thank you for your partnerships with Washington, D.C., a daughter of Washington, D.C., and now in a very important position across our government, not just for the District of Columbia, but for the nation. And the federal government has the ability to make a lot of things happen with the land that they hold, and that's especially true in our city. I am always thrilled to talk about how we transform parcels that had been underused, not used at all, vacant, into neighborhoods. And that's what we see happening in the Capitol Riverfront. And so probably, 2 years ago, we would be standing on 3rd. And now we're going to be standing on a place where over 300 new Washingtonians will live. And that is a wonderful thing. And as we develop around the city, I talked to residents last night about the choices that we have, because we know that nothing stays the same. It's either getting better or it's not, right? So we can either watch our growth or observe our decline. We have another choice. We could grow with abandon and not pay attention to how the changes we make affect the way we live, our infrastructure, and the rich history that is Washington. Or we can do the third thing, which is what I think is happening here at the Capitol Riverfront. Plan for growth, manage growth, lead change, make sure everybody has input, preserve the things that are important to your city, and get ready and build a future that's going to accommodate all the 700,000 of us who live right here, right now, in the 300,000 that are on the way. So when we do that, we're going to be building a Washington that can sustain the future. And that is why I'm so proud to be here today with Forest City, who gets it right, who knows what they're doing. When we talk about projects and big projects that we have around the city, I always hope that Forest City is interested because it elevates the conversation, the design, the quality, and the delivery. When they say they're going to be involved, they're going to deliver. And that's why I am just so proud to be here today to open up this new residence for more Washingtonians. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. You always hit the river. That's right. Always. Thank you, Mayor Bowser. I love the theme of the river and what it means to the city, but also the theme of federal holdings in our city. They're all over Washington, D.C., and when they're transferred to the district government and then put to private use through public-private partnerships, we are direct beneficiaries, not only through the addition of residents, but new sales tax, new property tax, new businesses opening. These are all ripple effects in our city that enhance our economy and allow our city to grow. And one of the main architects of this is Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton. And when you look up a tenacious advocate for the District of Columbia in the dictionary, her picture is going to be there. She's in her 26th year and 13th term as the advocate and representative for the District of Columbia. I've lived here for 16 years, so I've witnessed her ferocity and tenaciousness and advocacy on behalf of us those years, and I so appreciate it. She has been such a steadfast friend for our neighborhood here as well as the District of Columbia. She has steered millions of dollars of federal investment to the city and to this neighborhood in particular, which has created thousands of new jobs for district residents. Some of the highlights of these commitments that she's made were when she helped orchestrate the BRAC that brought NAVC to the Navy Yard campus here in 1995 and really started the redevelopment of this neighborhood after it had languished for several generations. That brought 8,000 new employees and stimulated the office market as well as the residential market. She brought the federal DOT headquarters building here, which you can see in this direction. Almost 2 million square feet, 7,000 federal employees, opened in 2007 as another office anchor. She did the legislation that for the Southeast Federal Center that led to the transfer of the lands to create the Yards project. 55 acres in all, 42 acres for Forest City, Washington, that they won through an RFP, such an integral part of our community here. She also led the legislation that was going to bring DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, to St. Elizabeth's, east of the river. And you've all seen the Coast Guard building is open there. While we lost that, it did go to an important area of our city and brought new jobs to that area east of the river into Anacostia. She's also the ranking member of the House Subcommittee on Highways and Transit, serves on the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform, and the Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure. Very busy. I like to learn something new every day, and I learned this. Before her service in Congress, President Jimmy Carter appointed her to serve as the first woman to chair the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. What a cool thing that was. I mean, that's my new factoid for today. Again, there is no better friend for the District of Columbia at the federal level. I personally want to thank you for all that you've done for not only the city, but for our neighborhood here in the Capitol Riverfront. You obviously get it, and we thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, Michael, and you've sure been doing it with the bid. We certainly appreciate all you've been doing to bring the bid and to make the rest of us understand what a community this is going to be. Mayor Bowser, Administrator Roth, and of course, Forest City President Salzberg. I must say it delights me to see what this humongous building, Deborah. Because when we got Congress to pass the bill, and here you will see Congressese, this is what I named it, the Southeast Federal Center Public-Private Act of 2000. Well, I like the Yards or the Capitol Riverfront a whole lot better. But what we had here was the most valuable, or what many developers said was the most valuable undeveloped land on the East Coast. So what I did was to bring the subcommittee, it's the Economic Subcommittee, which is a part of this Transportation and Infrastructure Committee that has helped me bring these bills. And I brought them down here because I thought people who understood economic development could even see in this wasteland what a waste it was that this federally owned site was bringing nothing to the federal government and certainly nothing to the District of Columbia. I have to tell you, when I'm in the minority here for most of the time I've been in Congress, when the Republican chairman saw it, he got it immediately. And I had no trouble getting this bill through the House or the Senate. And I must say, I bet I don't have to bring Congress down here now. I bet they down here all the time. But to see this new building, Arris, to cut the ribbon today is a special joy. And I had my staff, because I've kept track just by walking around of what's happening here. I said, tell me what's there. How many of what? And this is what I learned. This is one of 14 residential buildings. 24 residential buildings to come, my friends. By today, we already have 4 hotels, 24 restaurants, 11 stores, and 13 personal service retailers. Now, I tell you one thing, we knew something good would happen here. I didn't envision that. And what I just said, they're not even through phase 1 yet. And I certainly didn't envision shopping at that Harris Teeter there. But I do because I live on Capitol Hill. And I didn't envision eating in the wonderful restaurants. I hope you've had the great joy already of eating by the river. There's nothing like it. Deborah, so far as we can tell, you are one of the few, maybe the only one I know, big-time female developers in the United States of America. Now, you all, this city is full of developers. I bet you never saw one that wears a skirt like that. But this is her phase one. Your work, Deborah, has since inspired me for another bill, and that's the Southwest Waterfront Bill. And that, of course, is going up. It's called the Wharf, that part of it. But what it means for the District of Columbia is that the entire urban shoreline is going to begin to sparkle with amenities of various kinds. A city the size of the district cannot afford any undeveloped land. Unfortunately, too much of it has been in the hands of the federal government. So you see that GSA Administrator Roth is here for a reason. Not only will this project bring a handsome revenue yield to the District of Columbia, it's going to do the same for the federal government. It is doing the same for the federal government. The Yards is already, in phase one, a go-to neighborhood in Washington. The outdoor events here simply show off now more and more of the amenities, and everybody's looking forward, Michael, to those terrific events in the summer and the spring. So today, this magnificent, huge Arris, I'm going to have Deborah tell me why she named it there. I kind of like the name. It's going to join the neighborhood. I understand there are residents already living there. So I want to assure Arris that in the next 20 years, she will have lots of company. And D.C. will have a brand new waterfront community with jobs and revenue that we have looked forward to and will continue to look forward to. Thank you, Deborah. And thank you for our city, for all you've done for our city.
And thank you again, Congresswoman Norton. Your leadership is extraordinary, and the investment you have steered here is remarkable as well. I like that you referenced the wharf and Southwest Waterfront, because here in the Capitol Riverfront, we like to say water is magic, and everybody likes to be near it. And what you're seeing unfold in our city today is an uber waterfront south of the Southeast-Southwest Freeway. And I commend Mayor Bowser again for the soccer stadium project, because that's the linchpin, the gap that's going to be filled that will connect southwest to southeast and create this continuum of about a 4-mile waterfront that's highly engaged, highly interactive, that all citizens of the city and the region can enjoy in a big, big, fun way. So thank you all for that. It's going to be wonderful to see the Washington Channel linked to the Anacostia at the nexus of Buzzard Point. We're also joined by Denise Roth, who's the GSA administrator. And when I looked at her resume, I immediately became tired, because in 18 years, she has jam-packed a resume that anyone would aspire to. She's the 21st Senate-confirmed administrator of the U.S. General Services Administration. And for those of you who don't know GSA, they oversee millions and millions of square feet of federally owned buildings, real estate, as well as millions of square feet of leases for federal agencies in the marketplace in private buildings. Quite a task when you look at it at the end of the day. But she's been in public service for 18 years. It began on Capitol Hill with service to the office of Congressman Jim Moran. And she later served as a special assistant to Anthony Williams, our mayor here, and worked at the district's Department of Transportation. Before joining GSA, she was the city manager for the city of Greensboro, North Carolina, and also helped establish the district office of North Carolina Congressman Brad Miller. 2 great career moves there. While there, she was also vice president for governmental affairs of the Greensboro Partnership. And while there, she steered $60 million of funds to establish the Joint School, and I have to read this, Joint School of Nanoscience and Nanoengineering at 2 universities there. What an accomplishment. She received her bachelor's degree at Government and Politics from George Mason University, and also has an honorary doctorate from that college as well. What a great person to be in the leadership role of GSA Administrator. Thank you for all that you're doing, and welcome back to Washington. Good to see you, Denise.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Michael, and good job on nanoscience and nanoengineering. It takes a while to really get that in. It is such a pleasure to be with you all this morning, and it is a tremendous honor for me to be with women that I very much admire in the work that they do. Thank you, Mayor Bowser, for your leadership in our city in keeping us to being a national recognized city across the country. People point to D.C., of course, but not just for the acts of Congress that are here, but also for the development and effort that's happening in the city. And we definitely stand out, and very much because of your leadership. Thank you, Congresswoman Norton, for your constant support, as well as direction at times, too. Which, if you know Congresswoman Norton, you've all been directed, and it's always a good thing when it comes with the spirit of focus on how do we support the city and how do we make it grow. And certainly, President South, I really just appreciate what we're having the opportunity to see today, and I am looking forward to getting a chance to have a tour inside, either today or sometime soon. I want to also recognize the staff from GSA that worked on the Southeast Federal Center. Could you please stand up? Because there's a few of you here. Thank you. There's something that happens when you are in any organization, and you know that the truth of the matter is where the rubber meets the road is a staff that has to work through and toil beside and be committed to the vision, even when those of us have left and moved on to the next project. And the staff here at GSA has been very committed to this effort, and not just what we're having today, but that which will occur over the next years to come. I thank you very much for your service and commitment, and I learn a lot from you every day. And what I have come to learn is economic development is truly about the art of the possible. And here where we stand, it's possible that we see. The possible of what happens when a congresswoman who is tenacious, Michael, and very focused on the work that she has an opportunity to accomplish, does that and brings that spirit to her work every single day. What's possible when a city is focused on developing and leveraging its position every moment with every step and opportunity and doesn't give up on that effort. And what's possible when a public-private partnership of persons that are committed to the future of any city comes together. In my role as head of GSA, I get to travel around this country, and it is my fortune to be in many cities across the country. And my background is certainly rooted in supporting the development of work of communities across the country as well. And we have 375 million square feet of space across the country that we manage. But what's more important for me is that the city that I come from, and I grew up here east of the river, as was pointed out, the city that I come from and that I live in is one that stands out as a beacon of public-private partnership and is truly taking advantage of its footprint. That's what makes the city strong. That's what makes the city stand out. And for me, I now live 4 blocks from here. I just finished my skating session with my son. I ice skated across the way here, and I was down here at the Arris Theater last night. And on May 20th, we will be at the waterfront over here because that's what we do. And that is a part of living life, and that is a part of what communities are creating. And we at GSA are laser focused on the idea that we have a role here and that we need to and we want to be a part of it. And so, as Congresswoman pointed out, there are a number of spaces that we have that is opportunity. And what I see from a federal government in the footprint that we have in any space is that we either need to help development or we need to get out of the way of development. And that's what's happened here. We've taken such a beautiful space and have created an opportunity that will last beyond us all. And I thank you for letting us be a part of it. I thank you for being strong partners in this. And I look forward to what's more to come from here and from today. Thank you all very much for having us.
Thank you, Denise. I like what you said about the art of the possible. During the recessionary years down here between 2008 and 2010, we did a lot of the art of the possible with a lot of different people. And they stared back at us and said, "You're just not ready yet." But I like to think we've transitioned from an emerged to a firmly established neighborhood that's now attracting residents in great numbers, attracting retailers and restaurateurs in great numbers, attracting office space in great numbers, and visitors in great numbers. I like to think this is one of the premier new growth areas in Washington, D.C., and we certainly have benefited from investment from both the federal government and the District of Columbia in a big way, and I thank them again as our public partners. Now, our key private partner in an effort like this has been Forest City, Washington, and Debbie Ratner-Salzberg is the leader of that organization. She's the president of Forest City, Washington, and a director of Forest City Realty Trust, which is a national real estate firm active in property ownership, development, management, and acquisition. She came to Forest City in 1985, and prior to that, she was serving as a trial attorney in the Civil Rights Division of the U.S. Department of Justice. That's where this keen legal mind comes into play with lease executions and negotiations. She spends a lot of her time looking at projects here, but across the country, but also at the Boston Mall. They were responsible for redevelopment of the waterfront station at 4th Street and Southwest, so they get mixed-use urban development. She has responsibilities for the Mid-Atlantic and the East Coast, and I mentioned some of those projects. But what I really like about Debbie is not only this private development acumen overseeing millions of square feet of investment and ownership, it's that she has a large civic heart as well. And that's evidenced in her commitment to the boards of directors of such organizations as the Urban Land Institute, our own D.C. Building Industry Association, George Washington University, the Commercial Real Estate Women's Organization, Kenyon College, and the Jewish Federation of Greater Washington. Some of this heavy lifting that she's done throughout her career, both in civic endeavors as well as the private sector, was recently recognized this year by Delta Associates at their Trendlines event where they recognized trendsetters. And Debbie was recognized as one of their 2016 Trendsetters of the Year. I can think of no better person to be awarded that recognition than Debbie Ratner-Salzberg. Debbie and Forest City, Washington get large-scale, mixed-use, complicated urban projects. You only have to walk a block in each direction to see what they've achieved here and how that formula is well executed, well managed, and well done, from architectural design to site planning to investment in milestone projects like the Arris. I congratulate you, I commend you, and I thank you for your commitment to our city, but also to the Capitol Riverfront. Thank you for Arris, thank you for all the other buildings, and welcome. Great to have you.
Thank you, Michael. And thank you to all of our distinguished guests for joining me here on stage today. Congresswoman Norton, Mayor Bowser, and Administrator Roth, thank you for your wonderful support and your encouraging words and all the work you do to bring us to today. I can't help but notice something. There are 3 women with me on stage today, and these are all women who get it, and they get it done. So, they have been tremendous partners, and I know will be tremendous partners as we work forward with the next 3 quarters of the Yards. And thanks to all of you for joining us today as we celebrate yet another milestone at the Yards. Today we're celebrating the past, the present, and the future, and one doesn't often get to do that together. The past we're celebrating is the mighty industrial heritage of this former Navy Yard site. Founded in the early 1800s, at its apex, there were 127 buildings here and over 26,000 daily workers. Forest City is very humbled to have been selected by the GSA to develop this project. And we are very pleased to have the support and friendship of the U.S. Navy, our neighbors, and are delighted that some of our Navy neighbors have joined us in today's celebration. When Forest City was awarded this site, with it came several former terrific historic buildings. Some of them have already been adapted for reuse, including the Boilermaker shops, the foundry lofts, and the lumber shed. Joining these historic buildings today is Arris, and you will see that Arris is a very impressive place to live. The building's views, overlooking the Yards Park and the Anacostia River, are a delight for daily living. And being able to walk out your front door to the Yards is really a combination that is unparalleled in this region. The design of Arris is the concept of the world-renowned architecture firm Robert A.M. Stern. And working with Stern at their sides was WDG, a CBE architecture firm located in D.C. The building has 327 units of various sizes, from micro units to 2 bedrooms, and Arris includes 66 new affordable housing units spread throughout the building. As we celebrate Arris, we also celebrate the results of what has truly been a productive, ongoing public-private partnership. Others have spoken about this partnership, but it's the partnership of the GSA, the District of Columbia, and Forest City. And it continues to bear impressive results here at the Yards. I like to say that the Yards is the poster child for public-private partnerships. Arris is the third residential building to be completed by this partnership. With Arris's opening, there are now 715 places to live at the Yards, and 20% of these units are affordable to people earning 50% or less of median income. As for the future, in the coming months, you're going to see construction begin on 4 new projects. Across the street, behind many of you, we're going to begin construction on a 191-unit apartment building, and our partners, P.N. Hoffman, who are the developers at the Wharf, so we have very good public-private and private-private partnerships here, will be building an adjacent 138-unit condo building fronting on Tingy Street. Around mid-year, we are planning to start construction of the District Winery, and moving to us from Brooklyn. They will be joining us as another pavilion in the park, and we look forward to their opening at the end of 2017. By late this year, we hope to begin construction on a 16-screen premium theater, Showplace Icon. Yeah. Showplace Icon will be located by the West End near the Nationals ballpark. It will be the first movie facility in Southeast D.C. Today's celebration has occurred through the hard work of many people who have contributed and for whom we are thankful to have on our Yards team. You've heard from some of our public partners, including Administrator Roth. We work regularly on a daily basis with Brett Banks and numerous others, several of whom are here today from GSA. Maria Day Marshall is here from the D.C. Housing Finance Agency, and working with Maria and her partners has allowed us to have the affordable housing in our projects. On the private side, this beautiful building is a result of the high-quality construction done by Clark Construction and its subcontractors. We are very proud to report that this project is on track to meet and exceed its 35% CBE requirement. So that means that a healthy proportion of our construction contract dollars go to locally certified CBE firms. The Yards is a complex collaboration of so many different parties, including over 36 governmental agencies, in addition to multiple design firms and all the major utilities, just to name a few. And of course, at Forest City, much hard work and long hours have been put in by our team. Our Arris development team was led by developer Jason Bonet, and our construction champions Lenore Schmidt and Lou Williams. Andre Banks, our Director of Social Inclusion, has also been instrumental in the project. And now we have the opportunity to turn our wonderful building over to our management team, led by Carrie Jenkins. While today we are officially cutting the ribbon, as you heard, as of March 1st, we have residents. So following our ribbon cutting, in just a few minutes, we're going to invite you inside for tours. And please enjoy the food and drink provided by Osteria Marini, one of the more than 12 restaurants that have come to find success and a home at the Yards. Please make sure after today you come back, and as you have heard from our Congresswoman, riverfront dining is just beautiful and delicious. So come back and join us. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Well, thank you all for coming. I personally have enjoyed sharing the stage with 4 women who are powerful leaders, not only locally, but nationally. And I think they deserve a round of applause for the commitment they've made. I feel like a male interloper somewhat, but I'm happy to be here. And I'm happy you all were here today for such a milestone day, a wonderful day in the history of this neighborhood with the ribbon cutting for Arris, Forest City's latest offering, Stick around for a while, enjoy the food, tour, and then come back over the next 3 years. Our neighborhood's going to hit 60% build out by 2018. Imagine that, going from 1995, when there wasn't much here, to 60% build out in all market segments by 2018 when the Major League All-Star Game comes here, Major League Baseball All-Star Game. A lot of heavy lifting by a lot of different partners, both public and private. I commend them. It's all started in 2003 with Mayor Williams' vision for the river and Andy Altman, and it's proceeded with GSA and others to today's current timepiece. So enjoy the day. Thank you for coming. We're going to do the ribbon cutting, and then Osteria's food is going to be up for grabs. Thanks again for coming.
We now return to our previously scheduled program, already in progress.
Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to the No, we're Well, welcome. Well, welcome. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Arris ribbon cutting ceremony. What a beautiful project standing behind us. My name's Michael. Time, please. So enjoy the day. Thank you for coming. We're going to do the ribbon cutting, and then Osteria's food is going to be.
All right, ready? Yep. 1, 2, 3. All right.